Welcome to the third part of this edition that we are, our first edition that we are doing. Of course, we are coming to you from Highway Audiovisual Studios, who are our sponsors for the day. Gentlemen, I want us to talk about hockey development in this country. We are seeing a lot of clubs coming up and sponsoring the games. Simon, you did an interview the other day of, I keep forgetting the name. Yes. Yeah. Quite a good show that they are doing. They are just rallying the community, the young people that are there, and just teaching them the basic skills of hockey. How was it?
It's quite an interesting project. I was actually very challenged by the young men and women. It's not common nowadays to see young guys who know the sport of hockey coming up and starting an academy. Some of the players, of course, play for the Nairobi Hockey Academy, but most of them are based in Lenana. There is a slum there called Kajiji. So I've had a chance to interact with them. I also had a chance to interact with TUNZA, where Denis is the technical coaching director there. And it's good to see such academies coming up. You know, back then it was Wazalendo who had the only academy in the country. Now we have Nairobi Hockey, TUNZA, and now Hesabreda Leagues. And there's another guy who gave us a call and said he also started one in Kiambu. So it's good to see these small academies sprouting. It means the sport is growing. The only thing now we need to deal with is that aspect of the financing, and also the sponsorships, because we know hockey is an expensive sport. A hockey stick, an average one, goes for around 6,000 shillings more or less, which is not cheap for guys who are struggling. And to get let's say 18 sticks at a go, it's quite a challenge, but it's good to see such academies coming up.
Yeah. Dennis, quite a good thing you're doing at TUNZA Sports.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Well, maybe let me talk about development first. It's a good thing that guys realize that you can not only depend on the Kenya Hockey Union to run hockey matters in the country. You don't expect Kenya Hockey Union to come and start all these development stations all over the country. So when people come up with the initiative to start something, I think they should be supported, and they should be encouraged to do it. The other day I was talking to one Jim Nelson on the, I think he's an umpire. He started one academy in Migori. They're doing quite well. Maybe they have a couple of kids there. We also have Lynette doing one in Bondo. Lynette, I think, she used to play for Sliders, and coaches, she coached Amira. Yeah, so if we have all these centers sprouting up all over the country, then we know that we are headed in the right direction. TUNZA, we started off in Mombasa. We still have a station in Mombasa. And then we moved to Kisumu County. But we mainly now want to go to the rural areas, because in towns, everyone has an opportunity to play hockey. But there's talent deep down in the villages, and we also need to give them a chance. So TUNZA started off at something for the girls, but now we've also incorporated the boys. Yeah, so in the next couple of years, we expect to be all over the country.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Where do you want to churn out this talent? Because you are making incredible players out of your experience of the many years as an armed forces player, and then now coaching Butali. Where do you want to see this talent go? Because, you know, we never know about this country. Hockey is another topic that we can discuss for another day. But where do you want to see these young men and women?
It's good to realize that sports actually changes life now. It's not like those days when we only did sports for fun. Right now, you go to the colleges, guys get scholarships. You go to high schools, they offer scholarships. And through that, you make a change in someone's life, and they make a change back down in the village or from wherever they came from. So let's see sports as a livelihood, as a way of life.
You've seen it employ people.
It employs people. Personally, I got my employment through sports. From high school, my parents were struggling to take me through college, so I didn't even do 1 year in college, and I was offered employment because I was good in playing hockey. Yeah, so we want to see that. We want to see try and break this cycle of poverty in the villages using sports as a vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good one. I want us to go into the Northeast African qualifiers for African Championships, which will be held from the 11th to the 17th of May 2020, and it will be played here. The Sikh Union, apparently, but this is something that the union is not aware about. But let's delve into the tournament. Let me briefly just mention the teams that are there. We have, of course, Kenya. We have Burundi, Libya, Seychelles, Sudan, which is surprisingly, I didn't know Sudan plays hockey. Tanzania and Uganda. What's your take? Is it a ride home, Denis?
For quite a while, we've been taking younger players for Olympic qualifiers and we fail.
Yeah.
If you look at this pool,
Okay.
this is the time to really pick on those young guys we expect to be playing in the next year or two or 3-4 years. This is the time now to take us through these qualifiers because I believe the boys we have now are very capable of doing this. Yeah.
Good. Simon, do you think we can pass through this and qualify for the Continental Cup?
If we prepare well,
Okay.
that's all I usually say.
Okay.
If we prepare well, as a coach, I can tell you, you can play against an underdog and lose, like you lose 1-0. We saw in the Olympic qualifiers a shock by Namibia. Everyone knew Namibia is a walkover.
Yeah.
6-0, 7-0.
6-0,
Yeah.
but
We surprised us.
yeah.
Yes.
So if we prepare well, because those nations know in that pool Kenya is the big team to beat.
Yeah.
They say we'll gamble these other games, but we can't lose to Kenya. The other factor is we are at home. We have to win every game. We have to pick every game and build on it.
Okay.
So we can't afford to drop any points. So if every team we meet, we have to treat them as the big wigs. We can't just look at those nations like Sudan who've not been playing hockey for some time.
Or we don't know if
We
they
don't, yeah.
Yes, we've
So,
not heard about them talking
about
about
them.
it.
You just need to go back to basics.
Yeah,
Next
back to
thing is
basics.
let's not complicate
Yeah.
hockey. Let's not complicate how we coach or how we do things. Let's go back to the basics. We'll be home.
Yeah,
and dry.
and I think since it has been announced and we know the dates, I think it's 3 months too, if I'm not wrong, 3 or 2 months. We should start now building a team and getting those friendlies.
Okay.
We've been playing against local clubs,
Okay.
which is not a bad thing. We know finances are a bit of a tricky one, but who says we can't play against teams we will meet in the competition? We can go to Uganda, play against them, or we can go to Uganda, play against a club there. It's not necessary for us to play against teams that we know. It's good we get that exposure before the tournament.
And
Ghana were around. Sorry, Ghana were around in December,
yeah.
and several matches were put in place. Butali was one of the teams that were played for. But I
They
wondered,
didn't
couldn't a team be put together and then play against them?
There was a team.
There was.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
a team. Yeah, there
Quite
was a team.
impressive.
Yeah,
for
but one thing where we go wrong, like the last selection when we were selecting for
Olympic qualifiers.
yes,
Yes.
what do? We say okay, it is open, so anybody can come, and then you have players coming from the people who only come because they want to feel the tough, yeah. But this is a serious thing. This is Olympic qualifier.
Yes.
You should sit down and say, okay, this is our selection of 24 players. We start from here. But now, if you say it is open, every person is going to come there. Some cannot even make it in their clubs, right? And now they're going to take your time. Yeah. So 2-3 months, you're running a show for a team that 99% will not even make it to the squad. So I think this time we only have 2 months. Can we come up with a team, say these are the 24 selected to fight for the 18 positions for the championships?
Okay.
Yeah.
And we know that there is apparently a coaching pool of people who sit down and plan for the national team. So let's wait and see. Your closing remarks. Let me start with you, Simon.
Yeah, this season I'm expecting a lot, especially from Kenya Hockey Union. They have a big task to ensure that the promises they made at the start of the season have been done. Because you see, like last season, the league kept being interrupted because of the qualifiers. It's interesting to see whether this time we'll have the same interruptions. At the same time, you know, they told us that they won't reschedule matches, but you find teams coming in, they want matches to be rescheduled. So it's good for them to have a consistent base, because even guys from the media can schedule and you can have. It was good to see Madgo TV coming in and airing one of the matches live. That's what we want to see. In terms of the clubs, it's upon them now to build a team to compete this season. Let's not just participate for the sake of participating. We need to have a competitive league, because from the league, it's where the likes of Denis and the other coaches like ourselves, we can sit down and say, we'll pick these 5 players to play in the defense. We'll pick these 3 to play in the midfield. But if teams just field players for the sake of
filling the numbers.
So we have a big season coming ahead. We also have the tournaments, the Mombasa one, the Nakuru ones. I'm also looking forward to them. I love those tournaments, because at least the tournaments guys have to have.
This year I want to come to Mombasa.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So my expectation, I expect a competitive league, especially in the Premier League. Wazalendo and Butali, I think it will be a neck-to-neck affair.
Neck-to-neck affair. Okay. The former coach is here. He might just come back like close.
Probably.
Dennis.
Yes.
And probably when you do your closing remarks, where is Kenya Army, man? It's been what? 7, 8 years?
7, 8 years,
It's good you've raised that up.
Yes.
We're actually working on bringing a team, if not this season, then next season.
Okay.
Yeah, we've called the team already. We have like 24 players who have started working from the basics. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
And looking at the season, I'm expecting a very interesting season. Yeah, in all the leagues.
Okay.
Premier League, Green Sharks, please don't write them off.
Okay.
Kenya Police, a resilient side, so I expect them to be back on top. I don't know how well they've recruited. They have one very interesting recruitment in, is it Franklin Wahongo from Strathmore?
Yes.
Look out, watch that boy. He's going to be top in the next 2-3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, the league is going to be very competitive, and we also expect to see the competitiveness from the league to the national team. So let's also be competitive when we're playing internations. And the KHU, please, something should be done. City Park Hockey Stadium is in a sorry state. If the pitch can be improved, if you can get a new turf, maybe then expect things also to improve on how we play.
They're closing in May,
Same
time we have the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Let's hope and see that something good will come out of it.
We hope there's something will be done on the pitch, and we had a good thing from the HockeyKe at the end and beginning of the year. Such initiatives should be supported. We should have everyone on board, should have the Kenya Hockey Union and all the players and institutions and sponsorships should come in, and that will help make hockey better.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. I know this is the one of the many that we are going to do. I know Simon will be a constant with me on this set. But we want to ask you to please follow us on our social media handles. First, subscribe on this channel. And then remember, you can follow us at HockeyKe on all the platforms.
HockeyKe on all platforms.
All platforms. Hockey Kenya on all platforms. Let's promote...
Denis Owoka.
No, let's promote TUNZA.
TUNZA Sport.
Yes.
At TUNZA Sport on all platforms.
On all platforms.
Yeah.
And we really want to thank you for our sponsors. That is Highway Audiovisual Studios for availing this studio for us, to have this amazing equipment. We're going to tell you more about it through the photos and everything that we're going to take. Thank you so much for the crew that are behind the scenes. See you next time. This will be a beginning of many. Dennis, I hope to see you here. At least we should see more
We'll
of
be
this.
here.
And it's good to mention that we will also be doing previews and reviews of matches.
Yes.
Yeah, so Hockey Republik, watch out.
Yeah, good stuff. See you next time. at a YouTube account near you.